What does Trump's administration mean to women? Let's talk about it. The focus of Elon Musk is to increase birth rate, increase the population. He once made a tweet about it. He said, "Doing my best to help the underpopulation crisis. A collapsing birth rate is the biggest danger civilization faces by far." Given that Elon Musk and Trump worked hand in hand during this last election, what then should we expect? The US government, in the person of Trump, is concerned about the rapid decline in birth rate. So what is he doing? What did he plan to do about it? Before we get right into that, let's watch what these podcasters said they would do if they were to be the president of the United States regarding the decline in birth rate.
For instance, if I was the president of the United States, why wouldn't I want to have some type of push towards women to try to get married younger, to try to have families younger so that I could bring that birth rate up? If you could save the human species by simply changing around policies, wouldn't you try to do that?
Not necessarily.
Like, what would be an example of you not doing that?
So let's say you have a civilization of 5 people, and I don't think it'd be ethical necessarily to force those women to get pregnant if they don't want to by forcing the men to essay those women in order to keep your population going. So I would across the board say that that's wrong. Even if it prolongs the human species, I don't think women should be forced to give children.
Even if it would only be for a short amount of time.
100%.
Right. So then the human species goes extinct.
Yes.
So I'll concede on the essay one and just say, okay, fine, for the sake of argument, we'll let this one go.
So, not for the sake of argument. What would you actually say?
Well, I would say that you have a greater obligation
to essay the women.
If the opposition would mean global extinction, I still think that they would prefer to do so.
And if they didn't, if those 3 women on this island said, I would rather the meteor hit us, or I'd rather we die out than these men essay me.
The question isn't their preferences. The question would be the preferences of everybody in front of that. You would let the entirety of humanity go extinct.
Yes.
Why?
I'm prioritizing autonomy over prolonging the human race.
Autonomy, she said, and that is what men and the government have decided to take away from women. They are doing everything possible to make women have kids and focus on family. They are telling we women that we have no rights to our own body, but them as men, they do.
The feel when we control your bodies. Hey, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again. Okay, men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. It's your body, my choice. And men, women again. Men win again. There will never, ever be a female president. Never. There will never be a female president, ever. It's over. Glass ceiling? Dude, it's a ceiling made of fucking bricks. You will never break it. Your stupid face keeps hitting the brick ceiling. We will keep you down forever. You will never control your own bodies. You will never be the president of the global empire. Never gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
I'm not sure if that was a skit. The comments on that video said it wasn't. Even if it was a skit, you don't play with something like that. Don't joke with something like that. It's very sensitive. To be honest with you, I was taken aback by that video. It's always good to have men say it as it is, so we get to know what they're thinking. It's not like we don't know, but when we hear them say it, it's different. It makes a whole lot of difference. The 2025 Trump regime has policies in place to make women comply and increase birth rates. From taking away women's rights to the deletion and evacuation of fetus to the removal of no-fault divorce.
I've lived around Republican men my entire life. I know why they attack abortion rights, birth control, bodily autonomy, and DEI. I know why Trump said this.
I'm gonna do it whether the women like it or not.
It's not because they hate women. Trump has 5 kids with 3 women. Elon Musk has 11 kids with 3 women. They need women as incubators, but they understand that women want more than that. They want freedom and power, but Republicans, they can't allow it. Without a permanent servant class of women to be their betas, their alpha male fantasy crumbles. They don't hate women, they just hate rebellious women. They understand that it's easier to trap a desperate woman than it is to earn the love and respect of an independent one. Republicans aren't out here trying to thrive with women. They want to dominate women. And the women who don't obey and won't comply, they'll try to force obedience with policy. That's the Republican dream, and Trump will try to do it, whether women like it or not.
This is a PSA for any of the ladies that have been seriously considering divorcing their husband. There's a lot of big conversations happening now that we have the results of the election, one of them being no-fault divorce. That is a type of divorce that allows you to end your marriage without needing to prove that anyone is at fault. Some lawmakers are looking to abolish that, which is going to make you divorcing your husband a lot harder. So here's what that potential change could mean for you. You're going to have to prove that your husband did something wrong, which can be even more expensive, emotionally draining, and time-consuming. Legal battles over fault can keep you in an endless and very expensive fight. Removing no-fault divorce could mean higher conflict in court, which is certainly not ideal for your kids or you. Without no-fault divorce, you lose the freedom to decide when to leave your marriage. Your private decision could be left up to someone else's idea of what's right. So if you're unhappy in your marriage, now might be the time to act. Protect your right to choose what is best for you and your kids before it's taken away. Because the reasons that you want to leave your marriage are no one else's fucking business.
Women are always the specimen, the lab rat. What is playing out right now is not new. If you take your mind back to those days when women were restricted from having bank accounts, having access to education, and being forced to be married to a man for survival, for them to have identity, what is currently going on is not different. They've always used politics, economics, and religion to dominate and subdue women.
There are Christian nationalist men right now calling to repeal the 19th and taking the women's right away to vote.
Yeah, I think the 19th Amendment should be repealed. I think that because, well, first and foremost, because I'm a Christian, and that is the Christian position. Oh my gosh, you're saying that? Yes, that is the Christian position.
Talking about how beautiful it is for women to maybe just step aside and prioritize their family and spend time with their children.
Can you imagine if we had a religion based on a goddess in the sky who had a daughter named Jess who came to Earth like 2,000 years ago, and she had these 12 besties, and they wrote a book together about how men just naturally belong in the home. And one of the only strong male characters was the Virgin Marcus, and men also aren't allowed to have leadership roles in this church. And then we used this book as justification to enact policies that make it difficult for men to ever leave the home. And we say it's a really commendable job, but we also don't pay them for it. And then if they do ever leave, we complain about how he left and stole half her income. And we've also never had a male president, but none of it's in like a sexist way. Men are just stepping aside. They're not being pushed aside. They're just stepping aside. And it's really beautiful. And if anyone takes issue with any of it, they are being disrespectful towards our religion. So
let's talk about the current election results and how votes were casted based on race and gender. Looking at the percentage of votes casted based on race and gender, it is clear to me that black men and women voted the most for Kamala Harris, followed by the Latinos, then the whites. It was disappointing to women of other race to see that white women voted for Trump even after what he said he would do to women.
So there's a lot of women who I've seen on here saying that they're going to start practicing an American version of the 4B movement, which makes all the sense in the world to me. But my question is for white women specifically, right? Looking at this election, 2020, 2016, what is the version of the 4B movement for your best friend, your aunt, your sister, your cousin, right? Like all the white women who continue over and over to choose their whiteness over their womanhood as their best interest. I'm just asking. But anyway, all the rest of the women, very wise to be practicing the 4B movement.
I am sitting here talking to my daughter about the events from last night. And this video is for white Americans that voted for Kamala. I hope I say this right. I don't know any other way to say it, but what made you guys see us as human, or what made you not see us as animals? Like, what was it that happened in your life that didn't make you like them, that didn't make you hate us or not want anything good for us? Like, what happened? What happened? What happened to... I mean, I think the part that hurts the most is that all women will be affected by this. All of us, no matter what race we are doomed. Like, what happened to y'all? What happened?
Truth be told, in as much as women are coming together and fighting for liberation from men, there will always be a divide amongst women based on race, the pygmies, religion, and other personal reasons. You can never have 100% one voice as long as race and classism exist. So what should women do moving forward, given that Trump is the next president? Some women are already talking about the 4B movement. They want to join the 4B movement. They want to take the 4B movement seriously. Some people are thinking of moving to the next level. That's the 5B movement.
Large-scale oppression of women wouldn't be possible without the complicity of the men around us. If the men in your life truly had your best interests at heart, they would be outraged by the things that happen to women and have happened to women. It's not just the minority of misogynistic men who cause this, it's the silent and indifferent men that continue to let it happen. A man who had your best interests at heart would stand up for your rights, speak out against injustice, and hold other men accountable. Imagine how different things would be if men used their voice to hold others accountable, to speak out against misogyny, to challenge their own bias and their own privilege. It wouldn't feel like such an uphill battle for women to win this never-ending war of oppression.
As somebody who's been 4B for 2 years now, I haven't exactly talked about it because I don't like people's opinions about my decisions in my life, but I've decided to be a little louder about it because I'll tell you what, at 36 years old, it is the best thing I've ever done for my mental health. It is something that I will commit to for the rest of my life happily, and I am so fucking in for this movement, and I want all of you guys to join me. We are not alone in this. We're not crazy, and we have to do this together.
All I have to say is good luck getting laid. Especially in Florida, because me and my girlies are participating in the 4B movement. That's my next plan, and I'm dead fucking serious.
I know you guys want me to say something funny. I don't have humor anymore. I don't know where it went. I will say though, just learned about the 4B movement. Ladies, get into it. I'm obsessed. I also plan on no more DL men. Okay, if you're DL, if you want me to be your dirty little secret, nope, I'm gonna announce that to the world. Okay, no more DL men. Now, if you're gonna vote against my rights, yeah, I'm an angry bitch today.
My question here is this: why are they not focusing on telling men to be more responsible rather than heaping blames on women and forcing women to have kids with irresponsible men? Why are they not telling men to be better husbands and better fathers? I guess we know what the obvious answer is. The men making these policies are the ones treating women like trash, disrespecting women, and refusing to change. They are the ones encouraging the bad behavior of other men. They are also the greedy capitalists that are focused on making profit of humans. To them, increase in birth rate would mean increase in population, increase in workforce, and more money in their pockets, more profit.
You do not want to live in a world where men know all they have to do to take away a woman's freedom, to completely control her life, to change her entire circumstance, to change her entire plan, is to get her pregnant. There is no place that you are safe. You are not safe with your boyfriend. You're not safe with your husband.
Something that I will never forget, and a tactic that my abuser used on me, is when he started to realize I was pulling away and I was like readying myself to break up with him finally. He was like all of a sudden switched on a dime. He would always make sure I would take my birth control. But when he started to realize I was trying to leave, he completely flipped his personality. Like, he was like, we need to have a baby. Like, I want you to have my child. He was trying so hard to trap me, and it was so obvious, to the point where like he didn't even care that it was obvious that I knew what he was trying to do. Like, he was so desperate to trap me and keep me. And I'll never forget that. That was very scary, and that was the moment where I was like, I need to get out, because not only are you ruining my life, but now you're so desperate to keep me around as your supply. you need to bring another innocent human life into this because you want to keep abusing me. Like, men are evil and they really will try to get you pregnant and trap you. Like, this is not some crazy concept. They do this. And the very last thing I'll say about this is that, mind you, we were also only 21 years old and we were both still living at home with our parents. There was no logical reason to even think about something like that. He was like crying and begging on the phone at one point for me to like just let him get me pregnant. Like, it was very weird and I was very scared, and that was like the nail in the coffin for me.
So I come on here today with a very heavy heart. My soul is broken into a million pieces. I haven't been good and I haven't been well, but past week I've found out that my husband of 19 years has been hooking up with women during his lunch. Hundreds of women. And I had to go get tested. My heart hurts. My soul hurts. But now I'm going to get therapy for myself. Because I'm broken. But I can get through this. It's going to be really rough. It's going to be really hard. I just don't understand. We have 3 children together. And he lived an entirely different life on the side.
A good number of men out there are badly behaved, both in marriages and in their relationship. That's not the problem of the government. The government is not saying that. But the government is focused on forcing women to have kids against their wish. Government is focused on forcing women to remain in a marriage they don't want to be in. If you would love to watch more videos like this, click this video to watch men review the systemic lies they use to deceive women. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.